Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Hard Truths, the place where we cut through the noise, challenge the way you think, and talk about the things that are really holding you back. Today, I want to hit you with something that might be hard to hear. You already have more than enough to be happy. Now hang on, before you roll your eyes and think, yeah, I know, I should be more grateful. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly sat with what you have and felt grateful for it? Not just passing, I'm thankful, but a deep, overwhelming sense of appreciation. If you're like most people, and myself, it's been a while. And that's because you've been conditioned, we all have, to focus on what's missing. I used to be the same way. I remember a time when I had everything I once prayed for. A decent income, good people in my life, opportunities to grow. But all I could see was what I didn't have. I wanted more money, more success, more recognition, more. And because I was always chasing the next thing, I never felt satisfied. And then I got hit with a hard reality check. One night, I was mindlessly scrolling through my phone when I came across a video. It was a guy, same age as me, who had lost both his legs in an accident. And he was smiling, laughing, grateful just to be alive. Meanwhile, I was there sitting in a warm bed in a safe home with food in the fridge, both my arms and legs. And I was complaining about things that a past version of me would have been ecstatic to have. That moment shook me. It really shook me because it made me realize gratitude isn't about what you have. It's about how you see what you have. And most of us, we're blind to our own blessings. So let's talk about why we fail to see what we have. Here's the crazy part. It's not even our fault. Your brain is literally wired to overlook the good in your life and fixate on the bad. There's a concept called the hedonic adaptation, and it explains why no matter what we achieve, more money, a new car, a better job, it only makes us happy for a little while before we go back to feeling like something is missing. See, a famous study by Bickman Colts found that lottery winners and accident victims reported similar levels of happiness just 1 year after their life-changing event. Think about that. That's crazy. Someone who won millions and someone who lost the ability to walk ended up feeling the same. That's because your brain gets used to whatever happens. It normalizes the good. And then it amplifies the bad. That's called negativity bias. And it's another survival mechanism. A study by Paul Rosen found that humans focus more on negative experiences than positive ones. Because back in the day, remembering danger kept us alive. But today, the same wiring is keeping you miserable. You'll have a great day, but one minor inconvenience, a rude comment, a delayed flight, a problem at work, will completely overshadow everything else. And if you don't become aware of this, you will spend your entire life feeling like nothing is ever enough. Now, let me address something real quick, because I know some people resist this whole gratitude thing. I've heard it before. But I have real problems. Practicing gratitude won't fix them. Or, I don't want to pretend everything is fine when it's not. Look, I get that. But here's what you need to understand. Gratitude and ambition can exist at the same time. Being grateful doesn't mean you ignore your problems. It doesn't mean you stop thriving for more. It simply means you stop acting like nothing is ever enough. See, Jim Carrey once said, "I think everybody should just get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of, so they can see that it's not the answer." Happiness doesn't come from more. It comes from learning to see what's already here. And that's something you can start training your mind for right now. So how do you shift your perspective? How do you break free from the trap of always wanting more and start appreciating what you already have? The perspective reset. Here's the first thing. Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything you take for granted was gone. Your home, your health, your family. What would you miss the most? Now realize this. You already have those things right now. Second, the 3 things rule. Every day, take 60 seconds to write down 3 things you're grateful for. But here's the catch. You can't repeat anything. At first, you'll write down the obvious: family, health, career. But after a couple weeks, you'll start noticing the small stuff. Sunlight on your face, a good conversation, clean drinking water. These are all great things to be grateful for. This forces your brain to actively search for new positives. And that's how you retrain your default mindset. And lastly, flip your complaints into gratitude. Instead of saying, "I have to work," say, "I get to build a future." Instead of, "I have so much to do," say, "I have opportunities others dream of." And lastly, instead of, "I hate working out," you can say, "I get to move my body while others can't." That one shift changes everything, and I personally do these. Listen, before you move on with your day, I want you to do something. Just real quick, close your eyes just 10 seconds. Think about one thing in your life right now that if it disappeared tomorrow, you would desperately wish you had it back. Here, we'll do the exercise together, but promise me you won't close your eyes when you're driving. I'll wait. Feel that? That's gratitude. You don't have to search for it. It's already there. You just have to train your brain to see it. Listen, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Not just for listening, but for showing up for yourself, for wanting to level up. That matters. You could have spent this time doing anything else, but instead, you chose to be here, pushing yourself, challenging your mindset, doing the work that most people avoid. And I don't take that for granted. And since we're talking about gratitude today, I want to practice what I preach. I'm grateful for you, for choosing growth, for investing in yourself. But gratitude isn't just something you feel, it's something you act on. So let's make this real. What's one shift you're making after this episode? Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's flipping a complaint into appreciation. Whatever it is, I want to hear it. Tag me on Twitter at DannyLYBIN and tell me, what's the one thing you're doing differently after today? And if this episode hit you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Gratitude grows when we spread it. Let's make this mindset shift happen together. This is Hard Truths. Until next time, rewire your mind and own your life. See you in the next.